Hey, if you are a financial advisor or a life insurance agent and you are struggling with paid digital marketing advertising or PPC, pay per click, then you're going to want to stick around for this week's episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly.
Welcome to the Digital Advisor Weekly broadcast. Looking to boost your business with the latest trends, innovative tech, and must-have resources? Join us to discover how to successfully scale your practice and automate the process. Here to guide you is your host, the dynamic leader of Advisor Marketing Hub and managing partner at American Financial, Rob Souza.
It's Rob Souza here, and we're here again live for this week's episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly. And we're going to try and give you the final piece of our 5-week series of digital marketing strategies for 2025 so we can progress into the future. With all the changes that are happening, we really want to make sure that you get the heads up on how we can integrate into the future of digital marketing for 2025. And so this is our final episode. If you want to go back and watch any of the previous episodes, you're more than welcome to do that. Before we begin, a quick recap. I just want to say that if you're joining us today, if you are a financial advisor, please go ahead, whatever platform you're on that you're watching or listening, go ahead and put the city, the state, and the city that you're from. If you're a virtual assistant from anywhere around the world, also go ahead and share what city and state your advisor's from, or what, well, not or, but and what city that you're from or country you're from that you're serving your financial advisor. Because here at Advisor Marketing Hub, we combine artificial intelligence, automation, and virtual assistants to make a brand that is built around the financial advisor and their personality, because AI cannot do it alone, automation can't do it alone, and a virtual assistant can't do it alone. But you combine all three and it creates that magic recipe that can help you solve all of the challenges. Well, maybe not all, most of the challenges that you're facing to automate the process and increase your efficiency and your effectiveness and conversion rates to putting appointments on your calendar. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and kick into, here is the last 4 weeks, and we're on part 5, which really is paid marketing or advertising when it comes to PPC, pay-per-click, Google, Facebook, any of those. Every time somebody clicks on an advertisement or sponsored ad that you've created or a company that you've hired created, what can you do to make that more effective, efficient, and cost effective? So let's go ahead. Let's jump in. So we're going to try and talk about some of the advantages of artificial intelligence, what that's taught us this year, and what you can take away from the lessons learned from the progression of artificial intelligence and what information that it's provided us at a rapid increasing rate, so you can be more effective and more relevant and make sure that you are not becoming a commodity in the industry. Why? Because you're staying relevant and up to speed and information with what's happening in our industry and the most up-to-date information. Laws change, especially with the upcoming elections. Social Security calculations may completely and totally change January 1st of 2025. So you're going to need to be able to adapt to these changes. And so you're going to need to know technology and automation to be able to help keep you up to speed so that you can still spend time that you need to servicing your clients, but also staying up to date with all of the changes in product and indexes. And I could go on, and law changes. But it's really important for you to know on a granular level for the sake of your clients knowing that you're not relying on a third party source to be an authority of this information, that you actually have access to all the same information at your fingertips and can give them quick answers and responses in real time. And artificial intelligence automation will help you be able to do that. And so that's what we're trying to help catch you up on today. All right, so let's jump in.
No more sporadic marketing. No more posting and ghosting. No more disappearing and expecting people to trust you. If you want consistent clients, you have to show up consistently and stay top of mind. So that way, when people, not only does it build trust, but when people are ready to take action, the only person they'll think of is you.
Very good. Yes. And that is absolutely true. What we're trying to do is help you personalize your marketing so that, again, like I said, you're not a commodity. Exactly what you said. You don't want to just be throwing stuff out there. In this day and age, we have to stand out from the crowd. You've got to be able to figure out how to do that, but not turn your job into a full-time marketing position. So we're trying to help you do that by shortcutting that process and giving you the resources. So let's cook up the right plan for paid success with AI. Don't rely on a third-party company to do it for you. They're going to just template what they're doing for all the other advisors. I'm not going to mention company names. I'm sure you can think of all of them. Most of us can, but they're going to use the same ads with the same content, with the same messaging for all the advisors who hire them to do PPC or Facebook marketing or LinkedIn marketing. It's all going to be the same messaging. How do you stand out for the crowd and not become one of the many and get lost in the crowd and become a commodity, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So AI-driven tools can personalize any messaging, take the same templated, proven, successful content and personalize it to your target market if you understand the right prompts and how to use AI to your advantage. All right, so what most companies are doing that's losing on digital advertising is exactly what we talked about. And when we look at the statistics of this last year, over $500 billion have been spent on digital ads in 2023. But most businesses have not actually had a return on that investment. No ROI. Most, we're talking about 80% who have spent $500 billion on digital advertising have not been able to recover their investment. That's an astounding figure. And what we want to do is help you avoid being a part of that horrific trend. Of course, because it's mind-blowing and we want to avoid that. So why are we burning money? Because without the right targeting, which like identifying your target market, like you could teach a taxes workshop or you could teach an estate planning workshop or it's a social security workshop. But if you're not personalizing the audience that's in attendance and making the content and adapting it to that very specific audience, then you're trying to be all things to all people. And yeah, anybody who's older than 55 who has more than $250,000 and wants to retire is attending my workshop. Well, you know what? They probably have 25, 26 other people they could choose from teaching the exact same things in the exact same city with the exact same workshops. And you're not standing out from the crowd. But if you choose a niche audience and then adapt your presentation to that niche audience, instead of hiring third-party companies and hiring slide deck presentations that are generic, I'm trying really hard to not mention specific brands and names, but they're out of a can presentations that thousands of advisors are doing across the country. Then prospects don't need you anymore because they can just jump online. They learned how to do that during the pandemic. They can access all the information they want on ChatGPT, Copilot, or any of these other AI tools or search engines. And so it's really important you take your personality and you become your brand and adapt your presentations to a specific unique audience. You want to teach estate planning? Teach it to a niche. Do a workshop for teachers, do a workshop for federal employees, do a workshop for business owners, do a workshop. I don't care what niche, but adapt, personalize, and create a unique offering so you are not a commodity.
Papa John's Pizza. Papa John's Pizza.
And if we just keep sending out ads, it's like sending out coupons to those. Like, you send out an ad to anybody who has money who's 55 and older wanting to retire. It's equivalent to what you just saw. Like, people who don't need to be receiving these coupons for pizza are getting coupons for pizza. People who don't need to be receiving estate planning or retirement planning workshops because they don't even have enough money to retire altogether are receiving the same invitations. Because as much as we think that these mail houses and these Facebook marketing companies can narrow down and target our audiences, you're spending 10 times what you should be because it's so generic, it's so broad that you're basically just blasting the entire community, and a lot of the community doesn't apply or fit your target audience or qualify to even be a lead. And so you might as well be sending coupons out to people who absolutely not only don't need it, but shouldn't be receiving it. All right. And we're going to kind of move through here. Make sure I can stay on track. Why are the ads burning money? Low conversion rates, wasted ad spend. I'm telling you, it's making for a lot of frustration. We're hundreds and hundreds of advisors, and the frustration with the decreasing conversion rates of workshops is like probably the biggest theme I've heard. The biggest feedback I've heard all year has been the diminishing returns of our advertising dollars for getting attendees to educational workshops. But we can help you solve that by target marketing and niching down so that you're not frustrated. This is my wife's absolute favorite show of all time, which she's going to rewatch probably till I die. So I'm telling you, AI to the rescue. 16 months ago, most of us weren't even like, AI, we've heard of it, but we don't know what it's really about. And now it's radically changing our industry, our entire lives. And if you don't embrace it, you're going to get left behind. It will guarantee that you'll become a commodity, because with AI, you can personalize, hyper personalize for every message, every workshop, every invitation, every advertisement. AI will allow you to personalize the same exact presentation for dozens and dozens of niche audiences if you just learn how to prompt AI and leverage those tools to your advantage, so that you can become your own brand, and nobody will have ever received an advertisement, a message, or an invitation, anything like what you can send them, you leveraging these tools with automation, virtual assistants, and artificial intelligence. And all three are absolutely, in my mind, essential. Relying on one will not do the job. Okay, so we're going to use the analogy of a chef, and the secret ingredient, it is AI. That's the ingredient you have to have with the other ingredients. And the more you can learn how to use prompting, and we have over 100 advanced prompts that we've developed that we can make available to you if you'd like them. We'll put them in the show notes, and you can click on the link or schedule an appointment with me at schedule@rob.com. I'd give you 10 minutes of my time and give you whatever advanced prompts help you set up ChatGPT to help you advance your practice free of charge. You just have to schedule with rob.com. I'd be happy to do that for you. We want to help make financial independence available to every community in America. And I can only do that if I help all of the advisors who are in those communities have access to these tools and these resources. And so for most of these tools, if you're willing to learn them, we give them away for free. If you don't want to learn them and you just want to hire our team to do it for you, that's fine. We can do that. But that's not why I'm doing these broadcasts. I'm doing these broadcasts because I want to make this information available, accessible to every financial advisor. So you can bring this information, knowledge, experience to your community. You can reach bigger audiences more effectively, more personalized, quicker, more efficiently. And again, I am a CEO of a financial planning firm. I spun off a marketing company simply because I wanted to help more advisors outside of our own personal family firm. But I make my living in financial planning. I don't make my living in the marketing industry. And so that's why we're giving away every week. We're giving away as much as possible to help you enhance your practice, reach more people, invest back into your community, and help people find financial independence. So we're going to move on with the kind of giving those as much of the tools away as we possibly can. But AI's best kept secret. It can analyze your competitors' ads, because I talked about personalizing, but now we can go and look at your competitors, and then how do you set yourself apart from your competitors? Well, AI can do the analysis for you and give you
Make the worst rated whoopie pies from the Food Network. I like whoopie pies, so I hope this is one of those recipes that works out.
Hope.
Sugar.
Don't guess.
Vanilla. And some hot coffee.
Do you feel like you're chasing shiny objects?
Flour, cocoa powder.
Try this. I'll try that.
Powder.
See if it works.
Oh dear. This is what we're working with.
Try a workshop. See if
Let's see how it goes.
Maybe I'll join an FMO.
That is really thick
or an
dough.
IMO.
Let's bake these and see what happens.
Let's
so they're
see
pretty
what happens.
dense and they don't look much like whoopie pies I've had, but who knows? Let's make the filling. That looks pretty good.
That thing's an absolute unit.
It really is. These are a little untraditional.
And many of your clients can relate.
Oh my god, I almost locked my jaw open. The taste isn't horrible, it's just so dry and crumbly.
All right. The must-have, though, to avoid this disappointing result is you've got to have the tools that you need. Just like if you're baking, if you're missing eggs and a recipe for baking calls for eggs, I'm sorry, there is no replacement. It's going to taste bad, because when it comes to baking, cooking's different, but baking, as my wife has taught me, she's an amazing cook. But baking, because it is so precise, it is not her forte because she's likes to improv. Well, there's a certain recipe when it comes to marketing that works and that doesn't work. And if you don't know the recipe in marketing and you don't follow that recipe, then you're just guessing. When you guess on any sort of recipe that you're baking, the chances are it's going to turn out bad. And so we're going to give you some tools here, and you can use some analytical tools. Here's Google Performance Max. You can screenshot this and use this. We'll put it in the show notes. There's adex.ai, analyzing the effectiveness of your ads. Funalytics also can help you understand the effectiveness of and Phrasey. All of these are great free tools to help all of you financial advisors do analytics on your clients to tell them what their chances of success in retirement are going to be based on their needs and their projected income. Well, why wouldn't you also want to do that in your marketing? If you're such a proponent of it for your clients, why wouldn't you also want to do it for your own personal business? So I gave you 4 free tools here. I hope you screenshot that, review it, screenshot it, look them up. Super helpful. Each tool focuses on an aspect of the ad process and will allow you to evaluate it and use your analytical capabilities to evaluate what's working, what's not working, and how to tweak the process. So how does AI enhance targeting for a higher return on investment? Because that's what's happening right now in the industry is our ROI is going down, especially for educational workshops. So how do we pivot, adjust to the times, and help our ROI increase so that we can invest less and get more, or at the very least invest the same and get more? Well, you need to use analysis. So you need to analyze your audience behavior, use the same strengths that you have at analyzing your clients' financial future, and analyze your financial future because your marketing and advertising will dictate your financial future as a advisor. And then there is predictive analytics. And again, we'll have a list of tools that you can access to use that. If you have the very least, take Google Analytics and make sure it's on every landing page of absolutely everything you put out there on the internet. And then personalized ad content. And most people are not doing personalized ad content. They're doing canned or syndicated content where you're purchasing it from a company. It's being used by hundreds or thousands of advisors, and it's being ignored because of the proliferation of information that can be put out there, especially by AI and ChatGPT. You just sound like everybody else out there, and nobody really cares because they can just, in 30 seconds, they can put a query into a search bot, AI tool, or a search engine, and they can get unbiased information. Well, so they think unbiased feedback and information from any query. So they don't feel like they need to leave their house and go to a workshop. They don't need to join an online educational work. They can do their own independent research. They can get the information in their mind quicker, easier, with less effort, less work, less time. And so it's making us less and less relevant as we market
remember
our
that
services.
shotgun I was telling you about? Yeah, I'm at Bass Pro right now, and they've got a killer deal on it. How much? Oh, a 300 or 400. 1800. Okay, you can get a purse. Just keep it under 400. Let's do a 400 on the card. Do the rest in cash.
I like that.
So do you feel like they keep just charging more and more for traditional marketing services that used to work really great, but now seem to be just keep handing over money, but the results seem to be diminishing? That's the frustration I'm hearing absolutely across the industry. And so I really, really want to help break this pathway and see if we can change it up and create some growth by pivoting our direction and personalizing. So you can see personalized ad sequence, figure out your target audience. Understand with ChatGPT, you can get so much depth at understanding your niche or your target audience. And don't get me wrong, you don't need to niche yourself into a corner. If you want to have 4 or 5 different niche audiences, that's perfectly okay. Let's create a set of 4 different landing pages for the 4 different target markets. Let's create 4 different ads that speak to the 4 different audiences that you want to market to. Let's get deeper than just the 55-year-old who has $500,000 of investable assets and an income of a certain amount. Let's get deeper. Let's get into psychographics, demographics, their values, and let's adapt our content to match your audience or your niche audience. And again, you can have multiple audiences. And then you can create lookalike audiences so that you can retarget them. And your conversion rate will be 5 to 10 times what it would be if you just do a generic anybody over 55 at $500,000. If you choose a narrower audience, hey, I'm only marketing to managers in hospitals in New York City, your conversion rate could be 30% instead of 1 or 2%. So niching is super powerful. The reason we don't do it is it takes too much time, too much effort, too much resources. With artificial intelligence, that's not the case anymore. So if you want to know how to do that, take your exact same message, apply it to 5 niches, increase, and you can 10 to 30% increase in your conversion rates. Then you want to reach out to us, and in 30 minutes, we could do 50 pages of research using AI to narrow down the same message you have today, but narrow it down to 5 target markets. So it's personalized and they feel like it's directly speaking to them and their need and their niche and their problem. So again, schedulewithrob.com. I'd be happy to help you do that. We got to wrap up here because I'm running out of time. But if you do it, I'm telling you, you're going to see results. They're going to blow your mind. And you'll do the happy dance with us, which is what my kids called it when they were young. No longer, but when they were young, they did the happy dance. All right. So how AI builds massive email lists while you sleep. It's because when we use AI to automate the process, and then, well, we use AI to develop the process, and then we automate it with technology, and then have virtual assistants help you with setup and maintenance, then you're going to see emails that will come in on a regular basis, even as we automate the process on a regular basis. Set up one niche market and adapt it. And then when it's set up and automated and permanent, then you can pivot, choose another niche audience, set that one up, set it on automation, then pivot again. And the longer you go, the more niche audiences that you can do. And artificial intelligence, automation, and virtual assistants now allows you to do that at 10 times faster of a rate than you ever could have before. And I'm telling you, that is the future. And then you can A/B test the different niche audiences to see where your money is most effective and where you're getting the greatest return on your investment.
Your time starts now.
Back up, please. I'm rooting for everybody, honestly. I mean, of course, I'm rooting for myself first. Have to be honest, you know.
Of course, it has to stall out on me in the middle of a live feed, but the video clip was of people racing around trying to put together whatever they possibly could, and hoping that it works, hoping that it sticks, and when it doesn't, then you try something else, and then you hear another idea and you try that and it doesn't work. And if you're one of those people who've been chasing shiny objects and frustrated with wasted money, then I hear you, because that's what I've been hearing from advisors. We're trying to help you solve that problem and build a funnel that you can test, refine, test, refine, test, refine until it works, and then stick with it and adapt it based on the same analytic tools you use for clients you'd use for the success of your own marketing campaigns. Okay, so secret techniques. Keep testing. Don't we test people's portfolios? Don't we stress test them? And then don't you automate them with tools where you put them in a certain strategy, or you put them ETFs or some sort of like, okay, they're willing to take this much risk in exchange for this much reward, and you put them in sort of models in the financial planning process. If you do that for your clients, why aren't you doing that for your own business? Instead of relying on some third-party company, and instead of analyzing your own statistics that are coming out of your own results from your own marketing, don't leave it to a third-party company that's doing it for hundreds or thousands of people. Personalize it yourself, analyze your results, and continue to adapt them until you hit success.
So you're gonna add some strawberries around your cream cheese. So we're gonna
Or
drizzle
you can
our
just
olive oil.
throw it all
olive oil?
together and hey,
Pasta.
whatever, let's just
Pasta.
try something and
Chocolate
see if it
strawberry
works.
cheesecake pasta.
Police! Help! Help!
I don't see how this can taste bad.
Add a half a teaspoon of. Now we're adding some chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips, okay. Feel like you're ruining it.
Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more.
I can't lie, that actually looks pretty good.
And now the cherry on top.
Chocolate cheesecake pasta. I can't lie, that's really good. I'm being dead serious.
He's lying.
He's lying. But how many of us have kept trying things and it's absolutely disgusting afterwards when you pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 and you run an event, and if you're a serious financial advisor and you've invested in your business, I know all of you have had that event where you show up and the time for the event hits and like one or two people are in the room, and that like cold sweat comes and you're like, what the heck happened? I had 40 people registered, and it's time for me to get up and present in front of the crowd, and there's two families or two households there. It's a stressful occurrence, and I've heard it from every advisor I've worked with. It happens, and we want to help you try and mitigate or avoid that by using your analytics to not allow or repeat the same thing from happening twice. Okay, so quick, this is just a case study. We have an advisor, Brad, who is spending $10,000 a month on ads. And so this was for workshops and then appointments. And after using AI and niching down the audience, making sure we develop a couple target audiences, he spent 30%. He cut his spending by 30%, but doubled his email list or his lead capture list within 90 days of implementing niched down marketing instead of canned, blanketed, generic marketing. And his lead conversion rate improved by 40%. I have probably a dozen of these case studies. I'd be happy to provide any of them to you. Again, schedulewithrob.com. I'd be happy to provide that to you, and you will be happy to make more money. All right, so the recipe for success as we wrap up today: recap your results, create action steps to pivot and adjust your marketing. Don't keep doing the same thing over again when you're experiencing negative results. Stay ahead of your competition and use AI to adapt faster. So this is the part of the live stream where we typically do comments and questions, but I'm already over by probably 5 minutes of our 30-minute live stream. So what I'm going to tell you here is, if you have a question, please put it in the comments of whatever platform you're on: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Go ahead and put your question in the comment. I will make sure I personally reply to every possible question that either you've put in already or that you would put right now, to make sure that I get back to you. If it's really in depth, go ahead and schedule that appointment, 10-minute appointment, where I can help address it to your unique situation. I'd be happy to do that. Schedulewithrob.com. And let's wrap up. It's already 6 minutes over, and I want to be respectful of your time. Like, follow us, subscribe, and share any platform you're on. We appreciate it, because you're helping more people discover how they can become financially independent from the big institutions and the ignorance that they're hoping that the public has, so that big institutions can profit off of the individual investor. And we're hoping to attract advisors who want to stop that cycle, empower your clients to have the knowledge that they need to take back their own independence and have the opportunity to make the type of returns that the big institutions make and the powerful companies make. And you're giving that power to the individual, because you are teaching them all you've learned and lending it to them to allow them a leg up and giving them an advantage to be able to have equal access to financial independence. So if that's you, thank you. We want to give you as much resources as we possibly can at no charge, free consultations. Feel free to reach out to us, schedulewithrob.com, or you can go and check out our resources at advisormarketinghub.com. Thank you guys very much. You guys join us next week, every week, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for the Digital Advisor Weekly.